Hey guys, so I am making a video today of the meatloaf that I was originally going to make for Thanksgiving, but then I got sick and we decided not to make it. So I have all the ingredients and I decided to make it today. So what I have is, can you not turn it? Okay, I thought you were going to turn it sideways again and make me super confused. Okay, so we have a cup of walnuts, and then I'm supposed to have a half a cup of sun-dried tomatoes. So these are the sun-dried tomatoes that I got. These are like the only ones I could find, and other than like super expensive ones that were at the Whole Foods store. So I'll measure out half a cup of those. I have 2.5 portobello mushrooms, like 1/8 of a cup of parsley, 1 clove of garlic, a half of a red bell pepper, about 1.5 inches of a piece of a poblano pepper, and this tastes like a green bell pepper, except for maybe with a little bit of a spice in it. Just a little bit, not very spicy at all. And then I have a half a cup of carrots here with my Celtic sea salt that I use, ground cumin, and I'm going to add, the recipe doesn't call for it, but I'm going to add some Italian seasoning to this. And this has basil, oregano, thyme, rosemary, marjoram, and garlic. So, yeah, I like this seasoning, this mixture that we have. It was actually just a generic thing that we got with our spice holder. So, I'm just going to add the ingredients into our food processor, grind it all up. That's pretty much how it works. So we finished grinding it up, and at first I thought it wasn't going to be watery enough, but it looks like it actually is. There's a lot of moisture in the mushrooms and the tomatoes. Also the nuts, the walnuts are soaked, so those are going to have a good amount of water in them also. So this is what it looks like. It looks like brown meat, I guess. And it kind of starts to ball up a little bit towards the end, so that's how you know that it's done. So what we're going to do is put it on, this is one of my dehydrator trays. I have the Excalibur dehydrator, the 5 tray. Got it off of eBay for a pretty good price. And it's fantastic. It's actually really quiet, and I just love it. So it also comes with these sheets on top, because the trays come like this, and it has like a mesh thing on top. And then they have a couple sheets that come with it that you can put over the top in case, you know, you do things that are a little bit more watery. Like I especially have to use this when I make the flaxseed crackers. So we're going to put the meat, or
kind of looks like a toad.
A toad?
Yeah.
It looks like a toad?
Yeah, when you plopped it down, it looked like a toad.
Are you trying to say turd or toad? Because it could probably be passed off as either. It definitely smells like garlic. I can absolutely smell the garlic, and the sun-dried tomatoes have a really pungent smell, so. Pungent the right word?
Yeah.
Pungent, it's pretty pungent. For somebody who doesn't like tomatoes, would you say it's pungent, honey? Alright, so now for the fun part, because I get to use my hands. And you just want to make it into a loaf. The recipe says to make it into 6 inches long, 3 inches wide, and 1.5 inches deep or tall. And this feels really, really watery to me. And so I can just tell that it's going to take a while to dehydrate. Because obviously the amount of water that's in it is how long, you know, depending on how long it takes to take all the water out. But the recipe calls for dehydrating it for 9 hours, so does that look about the dimensions they say?
Looks about good.
Looks about good.
A little bit wider than it needs to be, but...
Oh, a little bit wider than it needs to be. That's okay, it'll just dehydrate faster. So that is that's my meatloaf, and it,
Get your head out of the way.
It feels really watery, but definitely doesn't feel like a meatloaf right now. smells good, and here, actually, let me try a little bit on camera. Let's see. Oh, wow. That is really good. Has a lot of flavor in it, so I'm really excited to see how this turns out. Really, really good. Alright, so I'm going to throw this in the dehydrator, and then in about 9 hours I'll come back and we can see how it looks. And hopefully you guys will enjoy the recipe if you decide to make it on your own. Hey guys, sorry I look so bad. I actually just got up. I am right here in front of the food dehydrator, so I'm going to open it up and take a look and see what the meatloaf looks like. And we're going to see if it's ready, and I will taste it. So, here we go. This is my Excalibur, and it's going right now. So I hope that I'm talking loud enough. It's not really too loud, but sometimes you never know. So here you go. And there we go. That is my meatloaf, and it looks surprisingly a lot like a real meatloaf. Probably about halfway through dehydrating it, we took it and flipped it over. So this is the bottom side, and it looks like it cracked a little bit, but who cares? It still feels really soft, but we'll see. So I'm going to take it out and probably put it on a plate or something, and when I come back, we'll try it. Okay, so I just put it on the counter, and I'm going to take and chop a little piece off. Yeah. And there you go. You can see what the inside looks like. So it looks a lot like a meatloaf, almost like I burnt the top, and the inside looks really good. It's really dark. It's hard to see, but the bottom side, you can hardly see on there, but right here you can see where I flipped it over now. The bottom side's a little more moist than the top, but it still feels a little moist to me, but I'm going to try it. So let me get the camera situated right so you guys can see. Here we go. Oh my gosh. There is so much flavor in this recipe. When I first tried it, you know, when I was making it, before I put it in the dehydrator, oh, so good. And now, I think it needs to be dehydrated a little bit longer. But the texture when it's dehydrated, and oh my gosh, the flavor is so good. Wow. You honestly wouldn't know that it's not made of meat. I think the texture is a little bit different than a meatloaf, but you honestly wouldn't think it's not made from meat. It's really good. So much flavor. Good recipe. I'm going to dehydrate a little bit longer, but other than that, I mean, it's really good. And one of the great things about dehydrator is if you want something warm, because that's one of the things that I miss the most about having a raw food diet, is that mostly everything I eat is cold. And so especially since it's winter time, I start missing a little bit of the warmth, maybe the soups and things like that. But you can make soups with your you know, your food processor, blend it up, and then take a cup of it, put it in a Tupperware bowl or whatever, stick it in the dehydrator, and let the dehydrator warm it up. So I think maybe I'll look into making a soup next for my next recipe, but since I just took this meatloaf out of the dehydrator, it's still warm, so it's nice. It gives you that comforting warmness that you want, especially during the winter. So there's my meatloaf. You guys can see. Looks really good. Tastes really, really good. It's got so much flavor in it. And yeah, so that's it. And I actually have a recipe to make a raw ketchup, but this is really, really moist, and I don't think I'm going to need it. But if I make it, I'll show you guys how. So there's my video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.